If you're struggling with breakage, trust me, I've been there. There was a time my hair would always break every single time I touch it. So I was able to find something that worked for me. I've been trying so many things and they did not work. And I found one thing and a few other things that really, really helped. But knowing this one thing helped in my length retention. Like every single month, I was seeing difference in my hair. I was able to retain more length. I was able to grow my hair and also reduce that breakage. So if you're struggling with breakage, this is a video you do not want to skip. So keep watching for all that information and tips, and I'll see you guys. The one thing I started focusing on was my ends. I was always focusing on my scalp and how to actually rub oils and creams to help grow my hair. But honestly speaking, if your hair is growing and your hair is breaking, you're not going to see length. That's a fact. So you need to focus on your ends. And I did some research and I had to find what will actually stop my breakage. And a lot of videos and a lot of research pointed at your ends. And one thing you should try and prevent is split ends. So split ends are basically when your hair is dry or your hair is like very brittle, it splits up, and this can cause your hair to break so much, especially when you leave your split ends in, they run through the length of your head, thereby causing more breakage and stagnant growth. Like if you're experiencing stagnant growth and excessive breakage, your major thing is split ends. You need to focus on your ends, and once I started focusing more on my ends, I started to see results. So I'm going to share with you one thing and other things I did that really helped in focusing on my ends, and also things that help to prevent split ends. Moisture is literally your friend when it comes to preventing split ends. Like if you want to prevent split ends, focus on your moisture. Split ends happen when your hair is dry, it can cause your hair to split up. So the opposite is actually focusing on the moisture. You need to make sure your moisture treatment is on point. One thing I never ever ever skip in my routine is deep conditioning, and if you're not deep conditioning, I highly recommend you start now. It's very easy. Just get a deep conditioning max, get a steam cap. If you don't have a steam cap, you can always use like a shower cap and leave that in for like 30 minutes. But if you have a steam cap, I would say like 10 to 15 minutes. But anything that has to do with moisture, try it in your routine. I've tried so many things that can work for moisture. I've tried aloe vera, tried flaxseed gel, deep conditioning, doing my moisture routine, hibiscus water. There are so many moisturizing ingredients out there and moisturizing products. You can try a leave-in conditioner. Like try and focus on your moisture, and also make sure you have a routine you're doing to your hair every week. I would say every week because it takes like a week or 45 days before your hair gets dry again and needs moisture. So that's why I said weekly routine is the most ideal thing you should have. Once I started focusing on my weekly routine and being consistent and finding products that actually work well for my hair, that's another very important thing. Finding products that work well for your hair that helps to let your moisture stay in very long. And one thing that's helped me also is knowing my hair porosity. I have high hair porosity, so it helps me to figure out what products will work well for my hair. For high porosity hair, it means that your hair can absorb moisture, but it doesn't retain it very long. So you need to find products that will help to increase that moisture. That means focusing on thicker conditioners, thicker products that can weigh down on your cuticles and leave that moisture in longer. Once you found a way to keep your hair hydrated, moisturized, and also leaving your hair like your hair not being dry, that is the first thing like in your hair breakage, like reducing hair breakage. Once I was able to do that, I started seeing so much changes in my hair and in my breakage. It reduced drastically. So that's the first thing I would after say. Moisturizing your hair, there's another very important thing that most people actually forget to do, which is sealing in that moisture. That's why I said doing the LOC method has worked so well for me. So it means I'm using my leave-in conditioner, my oils, and my cream. So this helps me to lock in that moisture, because if you keep your hair, like if you moisturize your hair with a leave-in conditioner, a conditioner, whatever product you're using on your hair, like a moisturizing product, if you don't seal that moisture in, your hair will get dry as fast as you put that moisture in. So that's why I always say that if you do the LOC method, it helps your moisture to last so long. And I like to go in with my oils. I use the oil I make, the aloe vera oil, and also I have an Ayurvedic oil I also made. And also you can also go in with whatever oils you have. But the last and the most important thing that's really helped my moisture to last longer is shea butter. It's a very thick butter, so it just holds my hair, like it leaves that moisture in, like it locks it in. I would say do not apply that to your scalp. It's a very thick butter. Once it comes to thick products, you would try and avoid your scalp because it can literally clog up your scalp and cause build-ups, which can cause breakage when you're if you're on a protective hairstyle when you want to take it down, and also it can clog up your pores and limit hair growth. So I would say any thick product avoid your scalp, but I would say that if you want to make your moisture to last longer, sealing that moisture in is very important with oils, butters, creams. It really goes a long way. The next thing I'm going to talk about is your detangling process. I know most people wouldn't know how much impact your detangling process has on your hair. Using the right detangling tools is very important, and I always say that you would never find a good detangler like your fingers. I always finger detangle for anything concerning detangling my hair, and I always make sure I have a sleep going on, like water, leave-in conditioner, deep conditioner, max, like anything that can give you a good sleep on your hair for you to detangle is very important. And I'm also saying detangling is very important when it comes to reducing hair breakage, because if you're not detangling properly, you're going to break your hair more than you should. I would say, like, we have natural hair, our curl patterns are very tight, so you experience knot tangles. That's why I said your fingers are the best detangler, because you'll be able to feel them and take them out carefully. And even though you're very careful, you might still lose some hair. So that's why I said that finger detangling helps to reduce breakage. But if you just use a detangling brush and yank on your hair, you're going to cause more friction, tension to your scalp, cause more breakage. And also it can, like, when your hair breaks at certain points, it can cause your hair to develop split ends, because it's breaking at uneven points. And that's why when you're cutting your hair or trimming your hair, you say you should use a very sharp scissors. It's because you want to have a clean cut. So when your hair is snapping and breaking from your detangler, your cut is not clean. So it can cause your hair to develop split ends, if you understand what I'm saying. So your detangling process is very important. The type of detangling tools you use is also very important. Just make sure if you're detangling your hair, you're patient, you're not in a rush, because if you do something like this in a rush, it can cause more damage and breakage to your hair. So your detangling process very important in reducing that breakage. This is usually my last resort when it comes to taking care of split ends, or just trying to stop my hair from getting more damage that it is already. So this was in 2023. It was end of 2023, and my hair got to a point that it was so damaged at my ends, and it was causing my hair to break so much that I just had to cut off my hair. So this is usually my last resort, because I don't like cutting my hair or taking trims. I would try and not use the word haircut, because most people would get scissors happy and just go and cut their hair. I'm saying trim. I will use the word trim. So basically, it's just you taking away your dead ends, because when it comes to a point where your split ends are doing more damage than good, because there are ways to also prevent or help to reverse your split ends. But if you don't have the patience to do that and wait long term for your results, you can just actually cut off those dead ends, which is what I did. I don't like taking trims on my hair, because most people would say, oh, I'm trimming my hair once in a year, twice in a year, three times in a year, once every month. I don't act like that. I act based on how my hair is feeling. If my hair needs a trim, I would trim it. But if it doesn't need a trim, I don't have to have a scheduled time. I must actually cut my hair at that particular time or trim my hair at that particular time. If you're doing this, you're actually losing so much length, which you do not know about, because you're scheduling trims when they are not necessary. If you're consistent with your routine, if you're doing everything you need to do to your hair, you most likely don't even need a trim, because your hair is healthy, is doing well. So I've not had a trim in like a year plus now, and my hair is doing so well. So if you need a trim, get a trim. If you don't need a trim, don't do it, because everybody's saying if you trim your hair will grow longer. That's that's so bizarre, because if you're cutting your hair, how is that helping in your hair growth when your hair is not damaged? So don't take that trim. You need to trim your hair when you actually need it, and it can help to avoid split ends. So if you have split ends, they're going to run through the length of your hair and cause more breakage, and eventually going to make your hair not healthy and stagnant growth, which you don't want. So that's when you actually need a trim. So yeah, that's going to be all for this video. I hope it was helpful, and if you've been experiencing so much breakage, try and look at everything single thing I've said. If it's something that you're not doing or you need to start doing, I highly recommend start doing this, because I was able to retain more length because I started focusing on these certain things. So that's going to be all for this video. If you have any questions concerning natural hair any problems you're facing, and also anything you just want to add in this video. I would like to for you to leave that in the comment section. And that's all for this one. I'll see you guys in my next one. Bye.